At the beginning of the story, we see Victor working on his new prototype robot, A112. He is accompanied by his wife Nadia and his colleague Katya. Together, these three are making a very intelligent robot which can do every task. As soon as the machine was started, he tested the movement of the robot. In the beginning, the robot would fall again and again. I was not able to walk properly, and because of this, they became a little worried. But Victor continued working. But when he saw that the robot was not able to control its power, breaking things, then he also became sad. To encourage him, Nadia said that we can increase the brain power of the robot. Testing is still going on. Don't worry so much. Gradually, that robot learned to walk. All three were very happy to see this progress. Gradually, with training, the robot became better, and everyone was very happy with these results. One day while working, Nadia received a call from her son, Mista. She was busy, so after disconnecting the phone, she wrote that son, talk to your father. He also told Victor to see what Mista wanted. When Victor called his son, he started saying, Papa, pick me up from school. I don't feel like staying here and I am leaving maths anyway. Victor scolded him and told him to stop making excuses and concentrate on his studies. If you understand, I will straighten you out in the rafts. Hearing this, Mr. got angry and disconnected the phone. Then some naughty children came there and started making fun of him. Angrily, Mr. went to class and asked his teacher, I want to be an artist. He also cited the example of Leonardo da Vinci. He studied engineering before painting. He had built many prototype models. This further enraged Mr. A few hours later, the teacher collected everyone's homework. Mr. hadn't written down any answers. He had just covered the entire page with drawings. The teacher praised his drawings but said it was a math class and failed him. Meanwhile, in the lab, Victor tested the robot's voice. He saw that Nadia and Katya had installed models with childish voices inside the robot. This angered Victor. The worst part was that he didn't have time to change because they were running late for a meeting. At the meeting, they showed the committee training videos of the robot. The general noticed that robot A12 wasn't able to avoid its target in time and was reacting a little slowly. He said the robot still needed a lot of improvement. Victor tried to explain that the robot had completed all its missions, but the general said, It's either you or me who fight there. He also said that the robot's voice was terrible. This angered Victor very much at Nadia and Katya. The general also told them to increase its power and speed even more. Meanwhile, Mista was on her way home when she met her friend, Grant, who cleans roads. Mista told her that the teacher sent her to the school office, but Mista refused and left. Later, in the lab, Victor spoke with A12. He asked why her test results were so bad. The robot said that perhaps it hadn't had a very good day. This answer only angered Victor even more. Then the robot changed the topic and said, I can see your family photo. Actually, he wanted to know more about the robot family. Victor said, It's all nonsense. Victor denied it. You're just machines, not humans. With that, the three scientists left the lab, leaving A12 alone. Back home, Victor and Nadia scolded Mista for drawing the same thing as his math homework. Victor also said, Your drawing isn't good. The way his son said this made Victor very sad. Meanwhile, A12 was alone in the lab. He looked up the word family in the dictionary, but couldn't understand anything. He used his arms. He blew the door open and then quietly left the lab. He wandered the city stealthily. At one point, he nearly collided with a small train passing by. A little while later, he saw some people painting something on a wall. When they heard the robot's voice, a boy fell down. The robot immediately helped him and saved him. The robot had saved the child, but the boy still ran away in fear. This saddened A12. A few minutes later, the robot went to a construction site and told the workers to hurry up because their noise was causing a disturbance in the area. Hearing this, they panicked and started running. The robot saw the photo taken from the lab and wondered where his family was. The next day, Vector and his team met at the lab and learned that the robot had run away. Meanwhile, in class, the teacher told the students that a robotics competition was coming up and everyone had to register. Misha was shocked to hear this. In this? While you consider yourself an artist. Hearing this, Mi felt a little insulted and angrily left the class. Just then, Robot A12 arrived outside Mi's house. He created a key with his robotic finger and opened the door. Once inside, he went to the mirror and felt sad because he was still alone. Then he heard the door open and suddenly hid. Mista came home, threw his bag on the floor, and went into the bathroom. After washing his hands, he saw the robot offering him a towel. Actually, he had also come to hide. Misha suddenly got scared and, startled, bumped into Singh. Mitha ran to his room and climbed onto the bed. The robot said, "I won't hurt you." When he saw that the boy was okay, he calmed down and said, "My name is A12. He told Mitha everything. He explained how he entered the house. He made a key with his finger and then showed off his different voice patterns. Hearing the different voices, Mishra laughed a little. Mi wanted to understand what a family is. He even showed me the photo he'd taken from the lab. Mi became sad and said, "This isn't a real family." Hearing this, Mi reassured Robert, "It's nothing like that. You've made me happy, haven't you?" Robert was overjoyed to hear his unique name. He's gone. He could soon become a threat to everyone. He's carrying a very dangerous weapon. When Victor noticed his family photo was missing, he decided to go home and check. Misha and Robbie were watching TV. As soon as Victor arrived, the robot hid. Victor checked the entire house, but found nothing. As soon as he left, Mi gave Robbie his computer so he could learn more. Robbie read a lot in minutes. Then Misha took him to his friend Gran's workspace, where he created his art. Robbie looked at the drawings and asked why they weren't perfectly symmetrical. But Mi said that art doesn't require symmetry, it just needs beauty. Then he took Robbie to the window and they watched the sunset. Robbie was overjoyed. He said, "Look, you'll have to stay hidden tomorrow." Robbie was left alone in the workshop, and Misha gave him a pen so he could draw. Meanwhile, General Ole's men were telling him that he was in the dark. They were saying, "We've searched a large part of the city." He ordered his soldiers to increase security around the lab and send an alert to the city residents as soon as possible, asking them to report any sightings of the robot. A few hours later, Victor, Nadia, and Misha were having dinner at home. Nadia noticed Victor looking very sad and asked what happened. Victor replied that the boss had said the lab might be closing, to which Misha asked why. Victor explained that one of their robots, A12, had gone missing. If it wasn't caught and destroyed quickly, everyone would lose their jobs. Hearing this, Misha fell silent. The next day at school, Anton, a boy in the class, was annoying the teacher by operating his remote-controlled robot. When the teacher got angry, he threw the remote at me, and the teacher assumed Misha had done it, after which he was expelled from the class without any further questions. A little while later, Misha went up to Anton in sports class. Anton again confronted him. He started insulting him, but Misha had enough. He grabbed Anton and threw him down. He asked. Just then, the gym teacher came running and separated them. Misha, furious, left class and went straight to the workshop. There, he saw Robbie and Grand playing cards, and they had become good friends. Seeing the distress on Misha's face, Robbie asked what happened. Misha explained that a large army was after him. The order was to find him and eliminate him at any cost. Calculating this, Misha told Robbie to get away from the city. Grand then told him about a part of the forest where no one goes because a terrible fire had broken out there some time ago. Hearing this, Misha told Robbie that he should go there and try to put out the fire. It would show everyone that he was good and wanted to help people. All three were delighted with this idea. Just then, some policemen knocked on the workshop door and demanded that they open it immediately. "I'm busy." Soon, me and Robbie ran to the terrace. To escape, Robbie put me on his back and flew over both buildings using his jet. The police sent a report to headquarters that A112 had kidnapped a man right in front of their eyes. "We're chasing him. We'll soon find the exact location." During this, Mi's phone fell down. When they saw the police about to surround them, Robbie made a big jump and they both escaped. The news broke about A112's escape. Grind was interviewed, and the journalist seemed to think he was a prisoner of the robot, rescued by the police. That's why the police didn't arrest him either. Meanwhile, Robbie and Misha were talking in the middle of a construction building. Misha said, "I'm very angry. All these people are spreading nonsense about you." Robbie said. He had a problem with his test due to communication issues. Perhaps there was something wrong with him. Misha told him not to overthink it. He was a very hard-working and good robot. Hearing this, Robbie was overjoyed. He gave Me a thermal blanket, and they watched a movie together. A few minutes later, Me remembered that tonight was the first night he wouldn't hear a goodnight from his mother. Me refused, saying that if that happened, people would kill him. They would tear him apart as soon as they caught him. Robbie was touched by Misha's concern for him. The next morning, they woke up to the sound of 2 workers at the construction site. Me said, "We have to do something so that no one recognizes us. They have to change their appearance a bit." This way, his image was restored. He'll change a bit, but maybe he won't be killed. Meanwhile, Katya came to Victor and Nadia at home and told them that the lab had closed. Victor then went to ask the police if they had found any news about Robert and his son. Meanwhile, Robbie and Misha had arrived at the city circus. After talking to the people working there, they dressed up as clowns so that no one would recognize Robbie at first sight. A few minutes later, Me told Robbie to keep his disguise. Just then, Anton and Alia, who were in Misha's class, arrived. Me called Robbie over. He told them that Robbie wasn't the bad Robert. He was very nice. They were spreading bad things about him for no reason. The children were a little scared seeing Robbie in the clown costume, but Misha explained that Robbie was his friend. They were running away so that they could take Robbie to a safe place. Disappointed, Victor left. He understood that negotiating with this man would be pointless. But seeing his biggest project fail, he felt terrible. Then Me told his colleagues, "Stay with Robbie. In the meantime, I'll buy bus tickets." He also made them promise not to tell anyone. They both agreed. Hearing this, Robbie became excited and, taking off his clown costume, began demonstrating his tricks in front of Me. Misha took out her phone and started recording. Seeing this, Olia became angry. "It doesn't matter whether this robot lives or dies. I'll post its video on Instagram. I'll get a lot of followers." Olia was deeply saddened by his deception. Anton then left, and Robbie began talking to Olia. Meanwhile, 2 guards apprehended Me. Based on his appearance, they assumed he was the boy who had disappeared. A few minutes later, Victor received a call from the police station. He felt relieved, knowing his son was okay. The police had found him. Anton did indeed post all the videos on social media, and the viral videos eventually reached the general's team. They decided to go and question the boy. At the police station, Victor met his son. Upon seeing him, he embraced him and asked, "What were you doing all this time? That robot is dangerous." Me replied that Robbie was his friend. He wasn't some evil machine like the general was telling everyone. He was a very good robot. He also told him that he was his son. He had left it with some friends. He also convinced his father to bring him to the scene, promising not to report him to Robert. Victor hesitated a bit, but then agreed and left with Misha. Meanwhile, Aulia had given Robbie a new look with makeup. Victor noticed that Robbie had learned to communicate much better, and his thinking had changed significantly. But then police vehicles arrived. Misha knew he was in for a real problem. The 3 quickly ran towards the cargo ship's warehouse, but the soldiers surrounded them. Oleg ordered them to quickly take the children aside so they could attack the robot with their electromagnetic weapon, which would kill Robbie. When Victor refused, Oleg decided to use force. The soldiers slowly advanced. Just then, a container's cable broke. The container was about to fall very close to the general. The general wanted to kill him, but Robbie, without thinking, grabbed the container so that no one else could escape. He was determined to prevent Robbie from getting hurt. After a while, Robbie's body began to collapse under the weight of the container. His hardware couldn't support the weight. He asked everyone to move away. Misha, heartbroken, cried out for his friend. A moment later, the container fell on Robbie, completely shattering him. Seeing this, Oleg was shocked. After a while, the container was removed from Robbie. Misha, sadly, began to say goodbye to Robbie. Victor tried to calm his son, but then Misha heard Robbie reactivate. Everyone was happy that Robbie was still somewhat okay. They all helped Robbie and left. After a while, Misha showed Robbie and Alia the drawings of his adventure. They all loved them. Eventually, everyone gathered for dinner, and Robbie asked for Nadia's phone so he could take a photo with his family. If you liked the video, please like it, please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.